You are already recording.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's okay. I mean, I
So,
can always go back and, you know, cut out the stuff we don't need.
you know, whatever. You know. So,
Yeah.
what did the mother buffalo say? What did the mother buffalo say to her son on his way to school?
What did she say?
Bye, son.
You, you are the most ridiculous person ever on the face of this planet. Just, just so you know, utterly ridiculous.
Wait, what? Why do you say that?
Do I have to? Do I have to go any further with this? I mean, really, does there need to be an explanation?
Yes, there does. Because I don't know, man. I'm kind of confused. Hey, look, if you want ridiculous, if you want an example of ridiculous, there is a CNN international anchor who was talking about the Ferguson riots that's going on right now in Ferguson.
Oh
Missouri.
yeah.
And she said, "Why not use water cannons?" And it's like, okay. First of all, you've never been on one side of the water cannons before. Secondly, it's easy to use water cannons when you're the one using the water cannons.
Right. I mean, and what I mean exactly what is our water cannons going to prove? Or I mean, what how is that going to help?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's just my question.
That would just escalate the situation. You're just making an angry mob more angry, in my opinion.
True.
You know?
Yeah, very true. But we are not here to talk about the Ferguson riots. We are not here to do that. So let's get into exactly.
No, but I'm talking about ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous.
We're doing a compromise. We're doing a comparison of ridiculous.
Yes,
you know?
but if I have to hear any more,
that's ridiculous.
If I have to hear any more about the Ferguson riots, I don't know. It's just.
Well, we could talk about the ice bucket water challenges that's been taking over the internet.
Let's
a week and a half.
Let's just get down to what we usually talk about because I've never had.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of AppenRoid talks about wrestling
and apparently other stuff.
I am your host. I am Rue, and with me, as always, is my best friend and brother.
No, this is Archie, and for some reason, I don't know. Do I sound irritated today?
I don't know. Do you feel irritated or something? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you bring in these ridiculous topics that we don't need to talk about, and. Just saying. Just saying, my friend. But yes, anyway, welcome back. Yes, we're all good, yes.
Well, okay, if we want to talk about ridiculousness, we just had a ridiculous pay-per-view on Sunday.
We did.
The rabble calls it Summerslam.
Ridiculous. We say ridiculous in a good way.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's go with that. I don't really get I don't get the luxury of watching live pay-per-views. I think the last one I watched was WrestleMania. You know, and usually I find myself catching up on a pay-per-view probably 3, maybe 2 weeks after it happened. I don't know. But I was very happy to actually catch this one live. Archie unfortunately was not able to catch it live. He was working, and so it was everything in me to not spoil it for him.
And I am so glad the whole time I was just like, do not spoil anything for me. And of course, Rue's telling me, while I'm working, don't read the dirt sheets, don't read the spoilers. And so of course I'm waiting for maybe something epic to happen or whatnot. And while it was, a fantastic pay-per-view in my opinion all around. I was still waiting for that epicness. Something I thought just something completely out of the ordinary was going to happen because you're like, don't read the dirt sheets, don't read the spoilers. And so I thought you put it in my brain that there was going to be some sort of cool little swerve of something happening, and if you were talking about the Nikki Bella turn, then I will punch you when I see you.
What? What was wrong?
Nothing. Anyway, let's get down to exactly what SummerSlam was. I mean, let's start off with the first match on the card. Rue, what did you think?
Well, Rob Van Dam is obviously slower than he used to be. This actually was not even on the SummerSlam card. It was on the kickoff show.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that, so
I
didn't even watch the kickoff show, so I had no idea that he was even wrestling on the kickoff show. Sorry about that. Wow, shot right out of my lungs. But anyway, go ahead. Who who did he wrestle on the kickoff show?
Rob Van Dam wrestled Cesaro, which was a very strange
that's right.
thing.
That's right. Okay.
I don't even know if they mentioned it on SmackDown or Main Event or Superstars, because the only time I actually heard about it was like released on Twitter or something, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of Twitter fans and whatnot, but it's just like it was like, hey, we're gonna have this match for no apparent reason, and they turned out not to have a terrible performance, but it was like one of those, why are we even having this match? It just, RVD is on his way out again.
Yeah.
And
in my opinion,
Cesaro is.
Yeah, go ahead. Cesaro seems like he's on the rise, but in my opinion, Rob Van Dam's on his way out again. In my opinion, he should stay out. I just don't. He just doesn't. To me, he just doesn't have what he used to anymore, and he's just not exciting to watch. So anyway, yeah, that's just my opinion. But I don't. What did you think of the match overall? Because I didn't get to see it. Honestly, what were your opinions on it?
Okay. Well, there were some spots that were good. A lot of things that were done with with RVD's moves. And then Cesaro, I don't know. It seemed like a SmackDown match.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well, I mean, I guess that's okay because
it wasn't anything that.
I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's on the kickoff show. If it was on like the main card or something, and you're ranking it as like a mid card SmackDown match, then. Then I would say, okay, we've got some issues here. But it was it was just kind of like a, hey, here you go, guys. Here's just to kind of get you warmed up, So if it was like a SmackDown caliber match, that wouldn't bother me. It's a kickoff show. Who cares? No one's really paying attention anyway.
I don't know. It's just, RVD's still a name to me, and Cesaro still is a name to a lot of people, and. To have him on the card and basically not really be part of the televised card, and then to be completely overshadowed by the opener of the pay-per-view, which was The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, just seemed to be like a throwaway. And Miz and Dolph Ziggler have incredible chemistry, and they tore the house down.
Yeah, they did. It was. You and I have never been a fan of The Miz's ring work. What happened? I mean, what happened? Because, the past like 2 nights in a row, SummerSlam and Raw, he's put on a hell of a show, with Dolph Ziggler, and maybe it's just because those two work so well together. I might go with that. But I don't think it was just Dolph Ziggler making The Miz look good. I think they were making each other look good, and. Yes. And that's when you have something really special, is when one's not just carrying the other, but they're carrying each other. And it was fantastic to see just them work so well together, and everything just looked so smooth and so awesome. And you're right, the crowd was hot. They were into it. And when's the last time you can say the crowd was hot for a Miz match? I mean, I can't tell you, anybody that's like, oh man, this Miz match is amazing. he's so good. He's tearing the house down. But they were awesome. At SummerSlam, such a great kickoff to the show. I was surprised to see. I was surprised at first to see the Miz lose the title after getting it so fairly soon. He hasn't been carrying it very long, so it was kind of a surprise to see him drop it so quickly. But then again, I'm glad to see that Dolph Ziggler seems to be on the rise.
Oh yeah, it kind of has to be. I mean, I don't know with the result of the main event making it even more murky as to what's happening with the main event scene. It only has to mean that Dolph Ziggler is definitely on the rise, and a lot of attention will be put on him, and he seems to be very much up to the challenge, especially with the performances he's been giving lately, and I'm looking forward to see where they go from here, and that was one heck of a match.
Yeah, it really was great match.
The next match on the card was Paige versus AJ Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Something they've established very well lately is that Paige is definitely worth being on the main card.
Yes.
AJ, there's nothing we can say about AJ that's already not apparent. I mean, we've seen it before over and over again, and she's a fantastic talent, and she's not going anywhere anytime soon. And her matches with Paige are just getting better and better.
Yeah, they're getting better and better. And the same thing with the Miz and Dolph Ziggler match. Paige didn't carry AJ, and AJ didn't carry Paige. They were working so well together, and I love Paige's character. Like, she's, I'm trying to think, she's kind of like that creepy stalkerish, type, like she's calling AJ Lee a frenemy, like, saying that, she loves AJ, but then stabs her in the back at every chance she gets, and,
yeah.
But she's playing this character so well, and, she's playing a great heel, and, but at the same time, though, the fans are still they're behind her, we've got, like, the split, the half and half, So I think that I can't wait to see how her character keeps on developing, and to see where she can go, because I think that she can go even farther with this kind of crazy rage type character that she's got going on. But the chemistry those two had at SummerSlam was incredible. It was, and like you said, their matches are getting better and better.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to seeing where Paige goes from here.
Oh,
I'm not sure if the feud with AJ is done. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see Paige work with the other divas and see where she can go from here. We already know AJ can work with other divas. I just want to see where Paige goes from here. I mean, there's Tamina. There's there's Bayley from NXT. There's a number of girls that could come up and really give her a run for her money, and I'd just like to see how she would, how she'll do. I mean, we've seen a lot of divas come and go, and for some reason lately the diva division seems to be so much better than it has been over the years.
Oh, yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go.
So. Me too. I mean, like you said, there's the diva division is looking so good right now. Like you said, there's AJ Lee, there's Paige. Alicia Fox, in my opinion, is very underrated. I think that Alicia Fox can do some great things in WWE. I'm not sold and not high in Eva Marie at all. Every time I see her in the ring, I just wish that someone would just knock her out. I don't think she looks good.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Seriously. I mean, I don't think that she looks good in the ring. I just don't see anything special about her at all. I know she's on Total Divas.
But she's got red hair.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care what color your hair is. What does that have to do with anything?
I have nothing.
But it's
there's Natalia.
There's Natalia.
And
she hasn't been in the ring a whole lot lately. Which is a shame. But because I think her and Paige could have some great matches.
Big shame.
there, like you said, there's Bayley, there's Charlotte, Sasha Banks, in NXT. And so it's, man, like you said, the Divas division is starting to look really, really good. And I can't wait to see these up and comers make their mark. I can't wait. I'm excited.
It's really strange to feel this way, considering that it's been a long time since I've actually felt that the Divas division is more than just one or two trick pony for now. It's really strange because the last time I felt like it was competitive. Trish Stratus was just coming into her own. There was Lita. There was also Victoria. There was Jazz. There was so many different women back, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And for some reason, as soon as, Lita and Trish, retired within a month of each other, it floundered. Mickie James had no one to work with, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, sometimes there's, one person, maybe there's two, maybe there's three, but they all work together, so the Diva division never seemed that interesting.
Exactly.
Now, all of a sudden, all this talent, and the NXT is such a great program that's bringing these women along, and guys as well, along, so that way they can actually have a chance to shine.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you 100%. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
So, you're from Tennessee. So anyway, the next match on the card was a flag match between Rusev and Jack Swagger. Sorry.
Did you say Thwagger?
No.
How dare you, sir?
How
dare you, sir?
I was kind of surprised. Sir. I was surprised by the quality of this match. I thought it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
I was. I agree with you. It was a lot better. Go ahead, sorry. I won't interrupt you.
No, it's okay. But Rusev looked really good.
Yeah.
Before it's been squash match after really struggling to work with Big E Langston. But he looked good, and Swagger did his job.
Yeah. I was really surprised. Okay, I know Rusev can, I know that he can wrestle. It's just
Archie.
Swagger. I've never really been sold on Swagger because I don't know. There's just something about him that I've just never liked. But I have to give him his props at SummerSlam.
Hey, hello.
He looked really, really good, and I was like, I couldn't believe what did I text you? I was like, holy crap, I was like, 4 stellar matches in a row? What is going on? I mean, it's like, what's happening? But it was the only thing that I didn't like at the beginning, and I think that everybody else was kind of upset about, was that the American flag touched the ground. I think...
Oh, that's right, it did. That irritated me so much.
Yeah, and so,
to the point that I nearly threw up. And I almost peed the bed. It was ridiculous.
Did you really? Did you really? Man, that was more information than I needed to know. But but no, I that's just something. I don't know if I don't know if that was that they meant to do that, or if it was just kind of like an accident, because as soon as it hit the ground, somebody picked it right up. So I mean, but I think it was just one of those things where Swagger just, I think it just kind of like in the moment sort of thing, like he got attacked and got hit, so first inclination is just kind of like drop whatever you have in your hands. So I don't think that it was an intentional, I'm dropping the American flag on the ground, I just think it was just something that happened. So I mean, it sucks because
I'm doing foreshadowing. There's foreshadowing with me dropping the flag on the ground.
I'm going to do this on purpose and get everybody angry, even though I'm supposed to be a face. And
right.
but I wasn't sure on the rules of the flag match at first, because I didn't know. Even going into the match, I was like, all right, this is a flag match. What is a flag match? What are they doing? I didn't know. I didn't know what the rules were. And then
yeah, the flag match has different rules, so it's kind of they didn't specify exactly what the flag was going to play, how was it going to come into play.
And honestly, it wasn't really, if you think about it, it really wasn't a flag match. All it was, hey, this is a normal match, but the winner gets their flag backdropped into the background, and their national anthem gets to play. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, so it really wasn't, I was, I was okay with Rusev going over, that's, because, I don't know. It's just, I don't think I really cared who really won that match, but I was pleasantly surprised on how good it was. So, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jack Swagger, and I was excited to see him work with Rusev, just because of the kind of styles that they both work.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of expected that Jack was going to lose.
Yeah.
He hasn't been booked in any way, shape, or form to be the one to pin or submit Rusev at this point. He's good, but not the way he's been booked lately.
Right.
So
exactly.
I wasn't surprised. But I like the fact that when he was put in the accolade, he didn't tap out.
Yes, that was a nice touch. That was a nice touch. The fact that he just passed out and didn't tap. I thought that was a great touch. That was a great way for him to, lose the match but not look weak doing it. So yes.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Well, the next match stole the show, in my opinion. I mean, it picked up from the opener, and you and I talked about this last night. By the way, as we're recording this, it's Wednesday, so it's 2 days after Raw, 3 days after SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you and I talked about it, and I remember telling you that I wasn't really excited when Dean Ambrose wanted it to be a lumberjack match, just because two things. One, lumberjack matches always tend to be a little bit overbooked or over crazy based on the whole premise of it in and of itself.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that if they're going to have it a lumberjack match, everyone outside the ring, in my opinion, need to dress up like lumberjacks, and they never do. So
that's true. I never understood why they called it.
I was not looking forward to it. Me neither. I mean, there's first of all, why lumberjack? They're not carrying around axes. They're not chopping down trees, and so I don't get why it's called lumberjacks.
I have no idea. I have no idea. And I mean, they've not, as far as I always knew, lumberjacks were loners. I didn't know they traveled in packs or groups. So I mean, I don't.
Obviously, you'd never seen an episode of Axemen, so.
I guess not.
Axemen is like the lumber equivalent to the Deadliest Catch, except the guys in Axemen are jerks for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Okay.
So anyway,
moving along.
the way that Seth and Dean performed in their lumberjack match brought me back to a story that I read in one of Mick Foley's books, one of all four of them, I think, where he was talking about having a lumberjack match. I don't remember if it was in ECW or in Mexico. I can't remember, but it was somewhere not on the big stage where they were booked for a lumberjack match, and Mick and the other guy that he was wrestling made it a point to completely avoid the lumberjacks at all times, and they would fight in the crowd, they'd fight in the rampway and everything, and the guys are trying to drag them back into the ring, and Mick and the other guy were just like, no, we're just performing, and completely ignoring the lumberjack rules. And that's exactly how Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose did it on SummerSlam, because it was so much fun to watch them. I mean, they went everywhere.
They did.
It was ridiculous.
It was amazing. Just, like I said, I talked to you earlier about this and said, I've never seen a lumberjack match like this before. Because usually it's just like, oh, yeah, okay, he gets thrown out of the ring. Oh, wait, the bad guys are going to beat up on the good guy and throw him back in. And then, oh, wait, the good guy throws the bad guy out. And the good guys beat up on the bad guy and they throw him back in. It's just, usually that's what a lumberjack match consists of. And, but this just, this involved the lumberjacks in so many different ways. It was just so entertaining. The fact that when the lumberjacks were carrying Seth Rollins on his back, over their heads, back to the ring, and Dean Ambrose jumps from the turnbuckle and just takes them all out. And you've got like 12 to 15 men just laying this flat like all over the place, and it happened a few times where they were just they were all just getting taken out, and it was just amazing. And something just happened on my TV. Sorry. I have no idea what just happened.
That's okay.
Apparently there's a Tigers game that just went on my TV, and I don't know how that happened. Hold on a second. I have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, for those of you listening, Archie's a huge fan of the Tigers, and I'm a huge fan of the Cubs, so we both know what it's like to feel failure in our baseball teams, even at the hardest level.
Failure? What are you talking? My team's been in the playoffs like the last 4 years. Went to the World Series in 2012. Yes, they got swept in the World Series in 2012, but they still made it to the, the Cubs. Yeah. The Cubs haven't been out of the basement in forever. My team hasn't been past the playoffs to the World Series game in over 100 years. So yeah, how do you like that? Well, I know they made it to the playoffs in like 2002 or 3 or something like that, or I don't know, something like that. But but that Bartman guy kind of robbed you guys, or whatever his name was, that caught that foul ball. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. That I don't know how in the world that game came up on my TV. Apparently my Xbox thought I had said go to MLB Top TV or something. So, but anyway, moving along. Yes.
Well, yeah. So maybe your TV thought it pitched you the idea of watching the game. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. Let's get back to our topic at hand, which is Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. And
okay. And so, wasn't there a suplex onto the Lumberjacks as well?
There was a suplex onto the Lumberjacks. That was, and then the way that Seth Rollins, he landed on the Lumberjacks, but he seemed to like land on them at a flat plane, and then kind of flip over and like smack his face onto the announce table. And I was like, oh, good Lord. I was like, what in the world has happened? And it was everything that they did in that match was just absolutely fantastic. It was so entertaining. Like you said, it stole the show, and I think that it kind of sucked the air out of the crowd for the next match, which was it wasn't the next match. It was it
was the next match. Bray Wyatt versus Chris
Bray
Jericho.
Wyatt versus Chris Jericho, because that it kind of sucked the air out of the crowd for that match.
Oh yeah, because the finish was crazy for the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose match, because they had gone in the crowd, and then the Kane came out and got told to Lumberjacks, get them back in the ring, and then he got involved, and then Seth Rollins bashed Dean Ambrose over with the suitcase and pinned him, and it was pretty crazy. It was a pretty crazy match, and everyone was completely into it. And so now you have, following that, is the Bray Wyatt Chris Jericho match, and I gotta say it was better than their Battleground match.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think they really need to do away with it.
Yeah, they do. They need
there's something about this storyline that isn't working.
Yeah, there's something about it that isn't working, and honestly, I want to say that Chris Jericho is just not looking as crisp as he usually does. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but something about it is, I love Bray Wyatt's promos. I love, the way he's delivering things, but I don't know. Maybe it's just that those two just don't. They're not working as well together as hoped. As hoped for. Because honestly, like on paper and it looks like, hey man, these two would be stellar together. Looks like they would have some great matches. But for some reason, you know, they're just not clicking. You know, I mean, they're not having bad matches, you know, but they're not, something about them is just not there. You know, it's not, the crowd isn't there. They're not pulling the crowd in. And so, and for some reason, my stinking MLB is getting ready to start again. But hold on, I'm gonna have to shut this off. Here we go. I'll just turn my Xbox off. How's that?
I don't know. I kind of understand how you feel about Chris Jericho, but I'm starting to wonder if it's Bray Wyatt. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something about him. I wonder if he's getting complacent with his position. You know, I mean, he was kind of deflated with his series with John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering if it's just the fact that, I don't know, his character's kind of confusing at this point. We got a lot of people cheering for him, a lot of people singing with him when he sings "I Got the Whole World." I mean, he's calling his fans as fireflies, especially when his music comes on and everyone's shining their cell phones or their lighters or whatever. And it just, I don't know. I'm sensing there's a lack of fire in Bray Wyatt that used to be there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the last time I remember really seeing that fire in him was WrestleMania. Because prior to that, he's been having spectacular matches. I mean, he had a fantastic match against Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, just like there's something about it that I wonder. I can't put it all on Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho is doing his best considering, you know, he's not old, but he's definitely not the young guy that he was before.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Bray Wyatt's a big part of it too.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's all Chris Jericho, you know, because obviously, you know, for something to work, you know, it's, you know, both of you have to be on your game for something to work, and but I mean, I agree with you, you know, especially about Bray Wyatt's character right now. It's just, you know, are you a heel? Are you a face? You know, what are you doing? Because you're trashing all over, you know, one of the, you know, biggest, you know, superstars to ever step in a ring with Chris Jericho, who the fans love, who are behind, but yet, you know, you adore the fans and sing with them, and like you said, calling them your firefly. I mean, you can't really have it both ways, you know, and right now it seems like he's trying to have it both ways, and I just, he's very confusing, like you said, you know, and it's kind of weird to have the fact that the people that are supposed to be the backdrop of Bray Wyatt, you know, what the Wyatt family, you know, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, are putting on better matches and getting better results and are getting better pops than you. You know, at this right now, you know, it's the, yeah. I don't know if maybe that's bothering him a little bit. The fact that you know that they seem to be getting more of the. I don't know what it is. You know, like you said, there's just something that I can't, you know, put my finger on right now with Bray Wyatt, because it's just, you know. He's supposed to be the leader, but yet his two the Wyatt brothers or family or whatever, they're putting on better matches and they're getting better results. So I don't know. Yeah. And that just doesn't bode well if you're supposed to be the leader. You know, the leader is the one that's supposed to look devastating. The leader is the one that's supposed to, you know, be, you know, putting on, you know, these spectacular matches and drawing in the fans, you know, and whatnot, and you know they're supposed to just kind of be your muscle and your, you know, they're just supposed to be there to kind of look intimidating, you know, they're big guys, you know, but yeah, absolutely, you know what I mean. So I don't know, but like I said, their match wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad, you know, but it wasn't what it should be. No. Like, okay, they did the moves that they were supposed to.
You know, I mean, they hit some really good spots. I mean, Chris Jericho pulled off a hurricanrana, which is from the top rope, which I thought was I was like, hey, that's that's something I haven't seen in a while, and
Mm-hmm.
I was really excited for some spots, but once again, it just seemed, I don't know. I mean, it seemed going through the motions more than anything.
Yeah,
And
that's what it seemed like to me. There seemed to be a lack of, hey, let's give these guys a great show, or a great match. There just seemed to be a lack of that. I don't know.
yeah, but Bray Wyatt won.
Mm-hmm.
Actually had a great spot where he hit the Abigail's kiss, Sister Abigail's kiss, or Sister Abigail, whatever, on the outside, and then did it again on the inside and pinned Chris Jericho, and then just had a spot where he's saying to the crowd, and I don't know, I mean, maybe it was just a combination of a match that was going through the motions and the fact that the fans already gone through an emotional experience watching Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have an exciting match, but then the crowd got right back into it with the fantastic Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella match.
Wow,
it wasn't fantastic in terms of in-ring work. It was fantastic in terms of the emotion and how much Brie and Stephanie got the crowd into it.
Yeah. They got the crowd into it, and Stephanie looking fantastic. I was very, very impressed with her. She out wrestled Brie, in my opinion.
She did.
She out wrestled Brie. And and you have somebody that hasn't been in the ring in 10 years or so.
10 years, yeah, just at least a decade now.
Yeah, and you have somebody else who, well, I mean, obviously she hasn't been around for a while, for a little while, because she was, she quit or whatever. She, air quotes, whatever, quit. But to have somebody that hasn't been in a ring for 10 years, kind of outperform you in the ring is kind of sad, I guess, but I don't know if it was just kind of like, hey, we're going to plan it this way, and she's going to look stronger than you, or she's going to look, okay. There's a difference there's a difference between making somebody look stronger than somebody else, and then somebody just flat out looking better than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Stephanie just looked better in the ring, than Brie Bella.
Well, she looked in better shape.
Mm-hmm.
She looked more prepared for it, and it's not like Brie was like the best female wrestler ever. I mean, I've never really been into them as a character or as personalities in WWE, and I don't care what you say. I mean, they're stars of Total Divas. Don't watch Total Divas. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't watch it either. And I think that if they didn't have Total Divas, they wouldn't be at the forefront, of the Divas division. The thing that bothers me is that they're pushing the Bellas. It seems more than the Divas championship. The Divas championship is taking a back seat to the Bellas, and that bothers me because it shouldn't be that way. The championship should always be center stage, and I feel like it's taking a back seat.
Well, yep. Well, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes, the championship, no matter if it's men's or intercontinental championship, sometimes it just does. Sometimes it takes a back seat for some reason to, certain personalities, and it's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you, but, it's just, it's one of those things, they have the Brie Bella and Nikki Bella, characters that are like the WWE version of the Kardashians or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something. I don't know what.
To them, it seems that's more compelling TV. I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't watch it. I'd rather watch Legends House, but
Legends House. But So
you ever seen an episode of Legends House? It's like the most uncomfortable thing you'll ever see.
Yes, I saw like the very first episode, and I was just to kind of see what it was going to be like, and I was like, oh, yep, okay. About 15-20 minutes in, I was like, I've had enough of this. I don't need to see this. But anyway, let's not getting off track here. But like we said, the match itself was, it was okay. I mean, it was, as far as wrestling goes, like you said, Stephanie looked better, and but in the terms of storytelling, it was fantastic. They did a great job, and then came what I knew was going to happen, and probably everybody knew was going to happen, and so I shouldn't really, be like, yay, haha, I guess this, because I bet like everybody did. But we had the Nikki Bella heel turn. So
I didn't expect that at all. I was completely flabbergasted. I was like, but Nikki's her sister.
You're so full of crap.
Well, okay. Here's the thing that I'm stuck with. I don't care. I know we talk about wrestling. I know we're fans, and it doesn't necessarily mean I have to care about the storyline.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
I don't care if Nikki turns on Brie. I don't care if Brie's, outshining Nikki or whatever. I don't care. I don't even care that Nikki is dating John Cena. I don't care that Brie is married to Daniel Bryan. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it the next night at Raw confirmed as much how much I don't care, because the next night Brie came out and confronted Nikki, and Nikki slapped her across the face, and Brie ran away crying, and the entire way it was played out was flimsy at best for why Nikki did what she did. They looked incredibly uncomfortable being, rivals, I guess, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm just happy that Stephanie won.
Yeah, I was happy that Stephanie won too, and I kind of had a feeling. Like I said, I had a feeling that Stephanie was going to win, and that Nikki was going to turn on Brie. It was just, the writing was on the wall for it, and and so, like I said, I'm not gonna be like congratulate myself for guessing this heel turn, because I'm sure everybody saw it coming. But yeah, I mean, it was, the storytelling was great. Glad Stephanie won. Like you, don't care about the sibling rivalry. Don't care at all. I hope we can see Stephanie in the ring again, though, because that was awesome. Plus, that outfit was rocking. So. Yes, I just said her outfit.
A little, well, I mean, how many times have we seen this? Where people who are partners, people who are family members, they stick together, and then all of a sudden somebody turns on somebody. We've seen this repeatedly, and I think it would have been more of a shock if it had not come on the heels of the Shield breaking up.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Maybe
we just had
more shock.
Yeah, we just had a backstabbing, heel turn, sort of thing. And so I've read that some people are really like, man, Nikki turns heel. John Cena's next. He's gonna turn heel because Nikki is. And I was like, it's not even going to happen. So just because John Cena's gonna turn heel. This is the justification for John Cena's heel turn, because his girlfriend turns heel. So naturally, John Cena's gonna do it. It has to happen.
I totally see it.
It has to happen. Be like, why did you? I can see John Cena. Why did you turn heel, Nikki? I'm all about hustle, loyalty, and respect. Oh, my sister, I hate her right now. Oh, good idea. I'm with you. I'm turning heel too. Let's go. I mean, let's do this. We're a couple. I stand by you. It just, I don't get people's logic sometimes when they think about wrestling storylines. It's just like, John Cena is the face of the company, the Make-A-Wish Foundation leader, wish making leader. Are you kidding me right now? It's. I know that everybody wants it to happen. I would love to see it happen. I'd love to see him do a character change, but it's just not going to happen. and I will eat crow if it does happen. I will take a tasty crow from the road that's been hit, and I will eat it. But it's just it won't happen. It won't happen. So anyway, sorry. Next match.
Well, let's not go into the next match yet, because there is a little bit of a behind the scenes thing that happened right after the match that I found to be quite entertaining. Maria Menounos was backstage at SummerSlam.
Oh yes.
And she accepted an ice bucket challenge from Vince McMahon, who doused himself in ice cold water while donating to the ALS research fundraiser that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
He did it in full suit, no less, at I think at some gym in LA. So he challenged Maria Menounos, and Maria Menounos did it, and she subsequently challenged Stephanie McMahon. And so if you go on WWE.com or YouTube, you actually see a video where Stephanie, almost directly after her match with Brie Bella, accepted the challenge. And I think that was the most opportune time to do it, because she had been wrestling, she was sweaty, she was she's
right.
probably like really hot from under the lights and in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
She accepted the ice bucket challenge with the guest of Ronda Rousey and her 3 friends who call themselves the four horsewomen of MMA. And she got doused with a trash can full of ice.
Yeah,
so, that was pretty cool.
That was really cool. I love the gesture. That I like this ALS thing that's going on. I really do. I mean, especially if you do the ALS, ice bucket, ice water challenge or whatever it is, and still donate. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. But the whole thing behind it is, okay, you heard me say earlier, and I posted something on my Facebook about it too. It's like, okay, so you're gonna waste clean water. You're gonna waste clean water just to try to get out of donating to charity. I mean, that's basically, if you think about it, that's what it is. Hey, take the ice bucket challenge. I challenge you. If you don't, then you have to donate. Oh man, I don't want to donate. I better dump myself with a bunch of ice water. But it's anyway. The people that actually take the ice bucket challenge and still donate, that's awesome. Thank you very much, because it's a very, very good cause, and that's why I do not accept the ice bucket challenge. But I would donate to ALS. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of celebrities have actually taken this to a different level, because a lot of celebrities have the money to do so, and they have the money to actually donate a lot of money, and so they'll take the challenge and donate money. I mean, Charlie Sheen didn't yesterday. I don't know if you saw this one. He actually dumped himself with $10,000 in cash and said, "Oh, this is not ice, but this is the money I'm going to donate to ALS research." I think people are taking a little bit too much liberty with the whole ice bucket challenge. If you're not going to donate, then don't put yourself on TV. Don't put yourself on video showing what you're doing. That's how I feel.
I think that's.
Donate,
I think I think that's what it has become. It's just become a craze. Just to, hey, all right, I'm going to dump myself with ice water and put myself on YouTube or Facebook, but then don't ever donate. That's just. I just have a feeling that that's what a lot of, a big percentage of this is. It's just they're just like, oh man, I'm gonna get views, by doing this or whatnot. So, that's kind of where I sit with it. But anyway, great cause. Glad Stephanie did it.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it. Just
yeah.
if you're wondering if we're gonna do it, no, we're not gonna do it. I mean, we're gonna donate probably, but we're not gonna take the ice bucket challenge. I mean, we don't need to put ourselves out there. I think it's a great cause, but if I'm donating, that's for me. I want to do it. I don't want to tell everyone I'm doing it.
Yeah, I don't need to be like, hey, look at me, I'm donating. Woohoo! But anyway, yeah, let's get past this little rant and go on to
okay.
And go on
there are
to
2 matches left in SummerSlam.
And go on to back to SummerSlam when we had Reigns versus Orton as the next match, I believe. Am I correct in saying that, good sir?
That is correct. And if you look at the times for the matches, it's the longest match in the entire card. It actually went longer than the main event. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. This was a chance for Reigns to really show what he has in terms of a long match by himself with a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
and he did well enough in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
Randy is a good enough wrestler to be able to cover for somebody, especially if they need to be protected a little bit.
Yeah.
Randy will work with someone as long as they're willing to work back and very well. And Roman showed that he can work with someone with someone like Randy. Um, is he ready for the big push that he's getting? I don't know. Maybe this could be the start of it.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I didn't really. I thought the match was okay. Like I said, I thought Randy carried the entire match, which, I mean, I kind of expected that, with Reigns still being very green as far as, singles, competition goes. I thought there were some great spots, with I thought the spear counter into the power slam was excellent. I thought looked fantastic. As well as the midair RKO, but the thing is that's all Randy, that's for the RKO all Reigns had to do was hit the ropes and jump up in the air, and Randy has to time it perfectly, so I'm not taking anything away from Reigns, but the thing that really I guess has bothered me is I haven't seen anything new out of him. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff, the same, same moves all the time. I guess it's just I don't know what I'm expecting out of Reigns, but I think he's got great potential. I like what I have seen out of him, but I just don't see him as a main event player yet. But I agree that you can't put him like on like as a mid card because he doesn't belong there either.
No,
he doesn't belong in the mid card. He doesn't belong, going for like the Intercontinental Championship or he doesn't, or the United States Championship. He doesn't belong there. I agree that he belongs in the World Championship talks, but I just don't think he's ready to achieve it yet. And I really think that he still needs some more seasoning. Like I said, he's got the potential. He just needs to put it all together for me still. For me, he still has to put it all together. And he's getting there. So I don't want it to sound like I'm completely knocking on him, like all the way. It's just like, and completely negative against him because I like Reigns. I think he's got great potential, like I said. But the match for me was just... It was just okay, and Randy definitely did a great job carrying him.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I agree with you. I still think that Roman did what he needed to do in the match. I think he needed to show that he can hang. If he tried to do anything more than what he did, the match would have risked being a cluster, in my opinion. I mean, it could have turned really bad really quickly.
yeah,
And so that's why I wasn't really disappointed. I mean, the Samoan drop from the second rope was, could have gone really bad, especially considering Randy's shoulders.
mm-hmm. I mean, it could have. Like I said,
spear reversal into a power slam.
Like I said, yeah,
the spear reversal into power slam I thought was a fantastic, sequence.
Oh, it looked beautiful. So. It looked beautiful. Like I said, there were great spots, and I guess, I don't know. There's just something for me that's still missing out of Reigns, and maybe it's still for me maybe it's his mic work still. I mean, I don't know. As far as I like the guy, but I just have a feeling that there's more. There's got to. I'm wanting more from him, and I just haven't gotten it yet. So, but I do. Reigns, I like you, man. You're good. I just want you to be great. I mean, that's I think that's what's frustrating me right now is because I know he can be great and I want to see it now. And I guess I just have to be more patient. So, I don't know.
I think we all need to be patient with him, especially, I mean, he's getting a program where he's not working with Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
This is just him.
Yeah, he can't rely rely on the other
he's
two.
Not getting. No, he can't. He's basically relying on himself at this point.
Yeah.
He's not really doing promos. He's just got to do what he's got to do to really get over. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to take a little more patience to actually get this thing off the ground. And he could really surprise us the next several months. He's got a long way to go before he hits the main stage at WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to be in the main event at WrestleMania, but he's got a long way to go before he can really be ready for that big stage, and he will be there. I have no doubt. And I don't know. I think it's too early to rain on his parade.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's hurry up and get to this and get to the last thing so we can get this over with.
No, that was good. What else can I say? He did what he had to do. He worked really well with Randy. He actually did a good job of making Randy still look like a threat.
Yeah.
At all times. And he won the match with the spear, and Randy still looked pretty good. Because they're going to need Randy to be a world title threat.
Yeah.
Considering how the main event turned out between John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I don't know if there's a wrestling fan out there that does not know what happened, but let's go over it, shall we?
Let's go over it. Yay!
John Cena got, 3-4 moves?
Maybe.
In, and that's all he had to offer Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, what he got? He got a few punches. He got the attitude adjustment. He got the STF.
He got a couple clotheslines.
Yeah. A couple clotheslines before he almost got F5'd, and then he reversed that into the attitude adjustment. But yeah, I mean, dominance. That's what it was. I mean, that's what we got to see. We got to see Brock Lesnar pretty much dominate John Cena, and like I told you earlier, I don't know why I'm sounding so negative today. I am. I'm like, it seems like everything I'm saying is just like, I love SummerSlam, but I keep saying some bunch of negative things about it. It was okay for me. Again, it was okay for me. I understand what WWE was trying to do, and showing what, just the dominance that Brock Lesnar has, and saying, hey, well, shoot, if John Cena's our top guy, and if he can't do anything against Brock Lesnar, then who can? But 16 German suplexes. Really? Come on. I understand.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. But it bothered me because like I told you earlier, and you have a different opinion on this, and I completely respect that, but it doesn't change the fact that a lot of those German suplexes looked very, very sloppy. And I just wasn't a fan of it, because like I told you earlier, at any point it looked like John Cena could have very seriously gotten hurt, just because of the way he was landing, the way Brock Lesnar was just kind of throwing him around like a rag doll, and not protecting John Cena. But I understand that. Hey, this Brock Lesnar, he's supposed to rip people apart, and but at the same time, you're still supposed to protect the guy that you're in the ring with. That's like your number one thing that you need to do, is protect the guy you're working with. And I just don't feel like he was doing that very well. And I guess that just really bothered me. You have a different opinion on it. So, feel free to jump in here and give me your opinion, even though it sucks.
Well, we talked about this last night, and I you know, I am a firm believer that John Cena would not let anything done to him,
Hmm.
that he wasn't comfortable with.
Yeah, and I,
And
I
the
I
last
agree with
match
you
that
on
they
that.
had was, yeah, the last match that they had together was Extreme Rules in 2012, and Brock really beat John up in that match.
Hmm.
But we we didn't hear any rumbling or grumbling from John Cena about that. I mean, he got cut. He got elbowed like cleanly several times in that match, which to me, if I wasn't really expecting it or if I wasn't okay with it, I'd be like, hey, lay off, man, or else I'm gonna blast you. And John Cena is no slouch. I have no doubt that the guy can really fight because, I mean, look at the way he performs. He doesn't get tired the way other big guys with huge muscles do.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's got
And
great stamina for a guy that with his stature.
yeah, and he used to be a power lifter, so it's not like he's a slouch. It's not like he couldn't match strength with Brock Lesnar. It's Brock Lesnar's size that makes people think that he is like a Superman. I'm telling you, if he actually got into an arm wrestling match with John Cena, it'd be very interesting to see who would win, like real life arm wrestling match, because
Hmm.
I think John Cena is a lot stronger than people think he is. And if he did not want Brock Lesnar to repeatedly German suplex him the way he was, he'd have something to say about it.
Yeah.
I really do. So, and I get how you feel about it. I mean, it looked like he was being careless with John, but I'm also confident enough that Brock is he's got the capability of being vicious without being dangerous. I
Hmm.
mean, he's transitioned very well back into pro wrestling from MMA, where in MMA he's got more free reign to do what he wants to do to punish someone. And if you've seen his fights, he knows how to hurt people. Um, there were a couple knees that he was delivering to John Cena that I was a little concerned about, but I think what I liked about it was the unpredictability of it. We've
Hmm.
seen John take some severe beatings in the ring and then come back.
Yeah.
And I liked the story that they told was not even his comeback was good enough to beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Super Cena just didn't have what it took that night. And I liked it. I liked what I saw. A lot of people were very upset by how it turned out. I wasn't. I mean, if they booked Lesnar any less strong than they did at SummerSlam, it would have made breaking the streak at WrestleMania that much less important. You know?
Hmm. All right. I see where you're coming from. I mean, and I do agree with you on some points. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree. I never thought about the whole streak aspect of it. And kind of coming into play. I never really thought about it that way. So I mean, you make a good point. You make a good point with that. Um, and I don't have a problem with Brock Lesnar dominating John Cena. I don't have a problem with that part of it. The only thing I had a problem with was just how careless it looked. And that was just for me. That to me,
Yeah.
that's just how it looked. Um,
Yeah.
and so, but the fact that they had him win, was such, like you said, like barely any offense whatsoever from John Cena, you know, was great. I liked that. I really liked that. The fact that, like you said, we're so used to, Super Cena coming back and, getting these comeback, getting beat down for the entire match, coming back and then getting a win out of nowhere. And
Mm-hmm.
and he just didn't do it this time. He didn't have what it took, to come back. Which was awesome to see. Like I said, it just kind of bothered me that it looked a little sloppy. Um, but that's just me. I may be the only one that felt that way. But I'm happy
Well,
with the outcome.
we all know that you're a Cena fan, so I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm on the Let's Go Cena side. So hey, like I said, I like John. John. There's nothing wrong with John
Yeah.
Cena. There's nothing wrong with him whatsoever.
Nothing at
People
all.
boo John Cena just because it's cool to boo John Cena. I mean, good lord. So But I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the title change. I'm happy with the outcome. It just makes you wonder what's gonna happen from here. And I know that
It was announced last night that Brock is going to be at the next pay-per-view defending against John Cena. Yep. So the big question is, how often are they going to have Brock come in until his contract is over? He's the world heavyweight champion now,
Yep. He's the world heavyweight champion, and I mean, we could talk about this stuff forever. We're already on an hour and 5 minutes. I think that that's probably should be good for now. I know that I need to eat some dinner with my wife. So
yeah, do that.
But I mean, I know that you wanted to kind of talk about Raw, Raw as well. But I mean, we can kind of do like a little mini. I know this was supposed to be the mini podcast, but we didn't really get to the mini part of it. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll do a mini podcast of what happened at Raw probably later on this week. But we
well, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, this is we wanted to do a podcast, just reviewing SummerSlam and possibly reviewing Raw. We hit a few points on Raw, but we'll get more on that later.
Yeah, we'll get more on that in a few days.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you loved our content. And I apologize for my negativity.
And it's perfectly okay to feel that there's negativity there. I mean, that's what we do. We talk about wrestling and everything. And speaking of wrestling, go to our Twitter page, AppenRoid at AppenRoid. I actually just shared a video just now. It's a video with Lillian Garcia giving Eden some tips, and guess who makes an appearance? Our old buddy, the Great Khali.
Oh,
so
good
definitely
Lord.
check it out.
Really?
And
I hate you so much right now.
But
can't we finish this up, please?
I am Rue. I'm your host, and with me, as always, is my buddy.
Yes, this is Archie, and hopefully you all had a wonderful time.
Yes.
That's all I have to say.
So take care. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.